AM 1170. The Answer. KCBQ.
Welcome back. You are listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer. My name is Kyle Whissel with Whissel Realty, joined as always by Mr. Jason Hall, the self-proclaimed Chargers homer with Team Home Loans. We also got Big Mike Proctor in studio with the Whissel Realty team. And the guy I want to turn the attention to right now, Mr. Nathan Craig, Culture Insurance Services. And Nathan, I want to get into this healthcare reform thing, but I want to start out. You've had two big changes with business and with life recently.
Yeah.
So tell us about what you got going on, my friend.
So personal life, because that's way more interesting to most people. I've got 3 sons. Found out we're having our 4th child, and it is
and
a
ages
girl.
right now? Ages
5, 4, 2 in utero.
Wow, so he's gonna have 4 under 6.
I do.
Kyle's just rolling here in the studio.
I have 6. He'll be 6 by the time this kid's
That's what I'm saying. So you're gonna have
6
4,
and under,
really 6 and under.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Right. I know I said under 6, but 6 and under. You want to be precise.
Yeah,
you're definitely a Kyle Whissel fan.
Yeah,
because Kyle likes
accuracy
to be
is
precise. I'm Mr. Hall.
He does insurance, and numbers are important, and it's important they be precise, Jason.
Yes, that's correct. So
your insurance is going to be about $7,000 a year. That's what you need to know. No.
Yeah, that's kind of what I say.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, personal life, that's great. So super excited about that. Like, so excited to have a girl. Tried to pretend like I didn't care if it was a boy or girl, but when we found out it was a girl, I was pretty elated. So thrilled about that. We've gone through a lot of growth and expansion. I've gotten to come on. Kyle's been kind enough. Jason have been kind enough to have me on the show a couple of times under previous employers and then by myself. And now my company's grown at this point, transitioned from 3C Insurance Services over to Culture Insurance. 3C just doesn't mean anything, but the third C in 3C was culture.
Okay.
And so highlighting how we impact the culture in a company is what we really wanted to do and focus on. So while I focus on the benefits, I've got a business partner who does all the workers' comp and risk and all that stuff. So together, and as our team's growing, we're genuinely trying to make people's lives better by helping employers leverage their responsibility to serve their employees well and protect their employees well and educate their employees well so that people have better lives. So that's the goal. That's what we're going for.
Bam.
Bam.
I love it.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Good stuff. Again, if you need any kind of insurance needs, especially healthcare, that is Nathan's specialty. You can always call or text us 619-663-SELL. 619-663-7355 will get you connected. So we were talking about Jason's boy, like Jason and Trump. I mean, they have the same hair. They're about the same age.
Right.
Like
same Twitter.
These guys, I mean, they literally look like twins when you put them side by side.
Jason Trump, is that?
I wish it was Jason Trump, financially.
Because then the bank accounts would match.
Yeah, although the Suns are getting in trouble and they're all over the media with everything going on.
You and the Russians.
Jason Trump, I think that could have been a possibility. He only got, $5 million loan from his dad to get his businesses started.
It's fine.
I probably could get away with that. $5 million right now.
Is that called
might help.
Trump change?
Ooh.
Can we call it Trump change? No?
Don't you got a button for that, Jason?
I got some money.
There you go.
I also got some.
Do you need to get Trump change number 1?
Yeah, Trump change number 1. How about that?
There you go.
Little change there. I think that's what Kyle's thinking.
Nathan, what I want to get into for our listeners tonight is healthcare reform. So there's been, obviously, we had Obamacare. That has not turned out to be what we hoped it would be. And Jason's boy Trump came in and thought he had it all figured out and was like, boom, here we go. Let me just shove this down your throat. And that didn't exactly work. Even his own party kind of went against him.
Correct.
And so where are we at with this whole healthcare reform thing now?
Yeah, it's been a big week. This week there was a vote that passed so that we could talk about healthcare reform. So that's a big deal. It actually is, though. I mean, it was being shot down to even be discussed because the proposals that were out there in terms of repeal only with 2 years to figure out how to replace, and then the repeal and replace that was out there just didn't have even Republican support for it. Entire Republican support. What that meant is that they couldn't get the necessary votes out of the Senate to get a bill to be discussed. So it's funny being in my shoes that I'm in right now. I remember when Obamacare passed and Nancy Pelosi said we got to pass it to figure out what's in it. Do you remember that? That was a really big deal. That the sad, maybe it's hypocrisy, maybe it's just the reality is that's at the end of the day, quite frankly, that's what just happened. It had to get passed initially so that we can figure out what's going to be in it in terms of the reform, which is being called the Better Care Health Act. That's sort of the current term, but it's going to end up with Trump care. That's just what it's going to be, or Trump kind of care, or Trump total care. Or
if it's bad, it'll be Trump care, and if it's good, it'll be.
He should call it Trump change. He really should. It should just be Trump change. So
I like that.
So right now, what people really need to know is nothing's changing yet. Okay. If something changes, it's going to be one of just a couple of things. Either repeal, which means Obamacare law goes away. Employers are not required to offer insurance when they have over 50 employees.
And that's what he ran on. That's what Trump ran on.
Repeal and replace with
I think that's what most Republicans want,
Yeah.
just to repeal it.
Well, repeal and replace was what was run. So no, that's the thing. Is that it wasn't just get rid of it and see what happens. It was get rid of it, replace with something better. So he was promising make America great again, which was to make it better, right? I mean, that's...
But we never had it before.
Well,
right? Have we ever had national health coverage before Obamacare?
You know what's interesting? So no, we not national health care. There's been states that have had done some different. Massachusetts, for instance, had the Romney care piece. But what I find interesting in the whole thing, at least from just looking back and observing politics, there's a statement that gets made all the time about once you give people something, whether that's welfare or social support or something, it's really hard to take it away.
They come to expect it.
I'm seeing something that I've never really noticed before, but it's becoming sort of real to me, is that once politicians have control, they don't like to give it up either.
Oh, no.
So even if they come in with a new reform, even though it's the anti-government party, there's still going to be a new regulation, new rules, new legislation.
Right.
Yeah. So once the government gets all the data in their hands on things, it's hard for them to let go.
Why do you think these congressmen don't want term limits? They want to be there, forever.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right? Like, wouldn't it be nice to, maybe 8, 10, 12, heck, even 20 years? Let's set some limits, because these same people, like Pelosi, and others,
just career politicians.
Yeah,
right?
that's all they do.
Yeah, they all are running, though. I mean, even the most recent threat after the last time the vote to talk about it got shot down, Trump said, basically, if you want to keep your job, you're going to pass this, which is a really crummy way to get politics done. It's not, hey guys, we're hurting people. It's you got to keep your job, or if you're gonna keep your job, you got to pass this. Not how do we fix the problem? It's how do you keep your job? That's not a healthy place for us as citizens to be, where our politicians are more concerned about job security than they are about serving the people.
All right, Nathan. Well, you're the health professional when it comes to insurance. So why should we reach out to you? Are we reaching out to the employer? You do everything. So you work with a lot of employers.
I do.
Right. So you wrote Kyle's employment group insurance, right? So do you work with small companies, big companies? Let's talk about that a little bit.
My clients range anywhere from those 2 employees on up to 250 employees. Everybody's got different needs. Every company is different, and every company has unique insurance needs. So what they need to have a conversation about is, maybe it's on the risk side. What are your risks? That's my business partner. That's not me. But then it's, what do your employees want? What would serve them well? If you've got a budget, what I find a lot of times is a company has a budget. They've got real money constraints, and that's a real thing to deal with. But what they end up with is one plan for their employees. Health insurance is not a one plan fits all. That's not the way it is. In San Diego, we've got different medical groups that have different ways to get to them. There's different ways to create efficiencies for your employees to get to Sharp, or to get to Kaiser, to get to Scripps or UCSD, even to get care in Mexico if you've got a heavy bilingual population. I'm working a lot with bilingual groups these days, doing presentations to help people get care here, get care in Mexico, whatever it is. So you have to work within the budget. You've got to meet the needs of your employees. You'll drive satisfaction of your employees. But I'll tell you, my biggest thing, and what I get excited about and what makes me do my job, is that when I do my job right, I help employers make their employees' lives better. Benefits are about life outside of work. Perks are things maybe at work. Workers' comp is things at work. But benefits are about making people's lives better outside of work. That's what I like.
So I know
to
your
do.
business is growing.
Yeah.
Has Obamacare helped that, because it's forcing companies to get and look at health insurance, because now they're required, they pay a fine.
Yeah.
Right. So they're now having to make calls to companies like yourself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's not the mandate on employers. Honestly, didn't drive as much new business as it did create problems for employers. So employers now have all kinds of tracking and reporting they have to do. Honestly, it was just a pain for employers. If anything changes, I hope that changes, and I hope that if there still are subsidies for individuals, when an employer offers an employee benefits, that it doesn't disqualify their families from getting help. Those are the 2 things that I think are the worst parts of the law personally,
Currently.
where it affects people the most negatively. It's against the spirit of the law. And so anyways, I think Obamacare, the main way that it helped me personally is that I came into an industry in upheaval. Right. I mean, where there's chaos, there's opportunity. For me, it was a matter of learning the law so well that I, as a kid who can barely grow a beard and, frolic around like a 12-year-old, I don't even look like a man yet.
You've got a beard. Look at this,
it's not
man.
a real beard. You got a Chavez Ravine running here, and then whatever.
You got more than I can get going.
Well, that's okay. So
I'm 47 years
I'll
old.
take your word for it.
It's falling out now, Jason.
Yeah. So for me, it just created disruption, which created opportunity, which has been something that I've just tried to be a professional so that I could help people out.
Right. And health insurance, I mean, we all should have it, right? So if your employer doesn't, you should go get it.
You need to. At this point, the penalty last year, if you didn't have health insurance, your penalties were over $2,200. This year, it's getting up into the $2,600 range. You should have health insurance at this point.
What's
or else
a general
you're lighting money on fire.
basic?
It's supposed to be based on the average bronze price of a plan. So it depends on your age. Everything's dependent on your age.
35 years old.
Yeah,
Couple.
if you take the base catastrophic type plan, you're 35 years old. It's probably going to cost you about $240 a month, which is about the price of the penalty.
About the penalty,
but at least
right.
that's the point. That's what it's supposed to be. At least, and that's maybe going to Kaiser or Sharp or something like that. It is at least giving you catastrophic coverage. If you go to the hospital, you're not going to go bankrupt.
Which is good. All right.
This is amazing.
There's some good
Dropping
stuff.
some serious knowledge. That's why we always love having you on, Nathan, again with Culture Insurance Services. If you want to get connected with Nathan, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. And one more thing I want to get to. We're going to head to a break in a couple minutes, Nathan. But what is it that employers want out of insurance? So, for somebody like myself or Jason, we're employers. We have employees. What do the employees want in insurance?
Yeah. Well, Kyle, you said to me, and I remember our first meeting, I might have been the second time I ever met you, but it was at your first time at your office. You said, Nathan, I just want to make sure that if my employees get in a car accident, that's the exact illustration you used, that they're not going to go bankrupt. So there's a almost like a primitive protective nature to it there. It's so expensive.
The health is gone up way crazy.
But there's a lot of ways to do it where your costs are controlled as an employer, but it's better for the employee than the alternative of going and getting it themselves. For if no other reason, it's pre-tax for them. Right? That's a huge deal. But also the plans that are available through employers are better values and better plans than through the individual marketplaces like Cover California or individual carriers. So the employers want to help give their employees a good position, but also when you do the right thing for your employee, which I love working with employers who want to do the right thing for their employee because it's the right thing to do. That's the reason. The cool thing is when you do the right thing for your employees because it's the right thing to do, they experience an attachment to the company to serve well, to be satisfied, to work harder, to be more efficient. They get health care. They get to work because they're healthy, because they got the medication for the strep throat, whatever it is. It's good for businesses to do the right thing for the employee. Don't do it for the money. Do it because it's the right thing to do. And I am confident based on everything I see, it'll actually work out well for you in your company too.
I love it. Nathan Craig, Culture Insurance Services. If you want to get connected with them, 619-663-SELL, 619-663-7355. We're going to head to a break. When we get back, we're going to talk with Big Mike Proctor. He's got a big event coming up this Friday that we want to invite all of you listening to the show to. So we'll get to that as soon as we get back from the break. You're listening to Whissel Wednesdays here on AM 1170, The Answer.
AM 1170. The Answer.